Hey guys, how are you? Hope you're enjoying your quarantine time as much as I am. I mean, hello, it's the best time to catch up on all your reading. That's what I've been doing. Tons of reading. And I have to say, being sort of an introverted, extroverted introvert, I don't even know if that's like a term, but that's kind of what I am. So I am enjoying this time. It's scary. It's a scary time that we're living in right now. Let's just be honest and, say how it is. It is a pretty scary time that we're living in right now, but it's also a time for us to reflect and look at the things that, we are passionate about and go after something that we're either passionate about or want to work on in our lives and go after that passion, go after that thing that you want, whatever that thing is to you. So, my thing is, I love short stories, and I started a Purge Your Story Time. This is my second installation. The last one I did from my daughter's booth, but honestly, the booth is soundproof and it's got two doors, and it's honestly so bloody hot here in California now. Thank God, though, because it was freezing and rainy and terrible. But I did the last one in the booth, and it's just, I can't breathe in there. I tried. So I'm in here where there's oxygen. Oxygen's good. Air conditioning's good. I love it. So anyway, my second installation of Purge Your Story Time, I have decided to talk about this author, this storyteller, this creative genius. That's what I would call him because he's amazing. His name is Noah, Noah. It's either Elowyn or Elowyn. I apologize, Noah. You're going to have to correct me in the pronunciation of your last name. But his handle on Instagram is at NoahElowyn. And he is an amazing storyteller. He's actually one of my favorite storytellers here on IG. And there's really not one story you can go on his page and find that you will not love. Some of them are they're all very different. I would like you to go on and see for yourself. I'm not going to like give away a lot of the different aspects of his storytelling, but they're all fantasy and mythical. And he has written books. He does book covers. He's very very creative. He's like I said, he's in my assumption of him, I believe that he is a creative genius. And I'm featuring him today on Purge Your Story Time. So without further ado, I'm going to read one of my favorite stories by him. And like I said, there really isn't a story on here that you can find that you will not love. But this is one of my favorites, so that's why I'm going to read it. The crowd was large, around 100 people or so. Erin opened the gates. Welcome to the endless menagerie. I will be your guide. Her amiable gaze faded into a sharp glare. Some of you brought children. That's irresponsible. Here we feed and protect the last specimens of myriad species, all of which are larger than myths. In other words, these are memorial creatures, apex predators. It is true that those who work here are powerful wizards and witches, myself included, but still, many visitors have perished. Our magic is only so strong, and so I ask all of you to behave. Understood? The crowd shared a worried, askance look, but they all wound up trailing behind Erin. Why do you wear a plate on your head? A kid asked Erin. It's a magic plate, Erin said and whispered something into his ear. She turned to the crowd then. On the horizon you will see Blob. He's a salamander the size of 10 dragons. As you can deduce, we recreated the true habitats of each animal, and we keep all of them free. This means if Blob comes, and I can't keep him under control, you should run for your lives. There was an odd silence among the crowd. All faces were ashen, distraught. That's quite a strange reaction, Erin said and turned to Blob. The endless salamander was barreling toward the crowd at tremendous speeds, and the kid she had spoken to moments ago was running towards Blob. Oh, that explains it. Well, I told you to keep your kids in check. It's too late to act. The ground trembled. The throng shouted. Blob rolled over. The kid petted its endless belly. A fish the size of a palm appeared on Erin's plate. She flung it to Blob. The fish grew to enormous sizes as it traveled through the air, to the point where Blob had at least 10 bites before finishing it. You can pet Blob, Erin said. He's a friendly giant. I can't say the same of the winged lion, though. So from now on, truly, Keep Your Children Still. I love that one by him. And like I said, if you go on his page on IG, you will find so many incredible stories, and they all range in different ways. Like, some of them are not so kid friendly. That one I would say is absolutely children friendly. Like, I would read that to my son and he would totally get a kick out of it. He's 5 and he reads, which is pretty cool. But I think kids nowadays are just popping out really smart, because I wasn't reading at 5. And I was writing stories and doing things as a child, but not at 5. I was just learning how to do those types of things at 5. But my son can literally pick up a book and just like read, sound out words, which is really cool. I thank my husband for that, because honestly, I've been busy doing so many other things. I don't have time for that kind of stuff. But I love reading, and I try and pass that down to my children. And I have older children, and I have a 5-year-old. I have children that are grown and married, and then I have a 5-year-old. So, yeah, it's different for me. Like, when I go on IG now, like, I write short stories myself, and some books I have written for children, and some books I write for adults. So my work ranges. Just like I would say Noah's work ranges definitely from some really softer material to some pretty hardcore stuff. So yeah, when you go on his page and you look through his material, there's something for everyone. There really is. There's something for everyone to enjoy when you go on his page. But to each their own. But I loved that story, and it's one of my favorites of his. And if you go on, there's also artwork, and there's things that you can look at and enjoy while you're reading his material. So it's pretty cool. On your phone, it's not as easy to like read the material and look at the art. But when you're on a computer and you can look at the art and read the material, it's really cool. It gives you a different, aspect of what you're reading and what you're listening to. It puts you more into the story. But I'm a firm believer in, like, we can only control so much as writers and storytellers. Like, we can, whatever's in our mind, we put pen to paper or fingers to keys, and we type out or write out what we perceive we want you guys to, get out of what we're writing. But it's up to you what you're going to get out of the story. It's up to you what you're going to see it as in your mind's eye. So that's basically how I would explain Noah as a all-around incredible writer and very creative person. Like I said, he's written books, he does book covers and all of that. So that is why I chose him for my second installation of Purge Your Story Time, because I believe this guy is, by no uncertain terms does he need me reading his material. He's amazing. And he's got lots of followers and lots of fans that love his writing and love his material and follow him and read all of his work. And so he doesn't need me reading it, but he was kind enough, and I am just like so humbled and appreciative that he let me read it. And thank you so much, Noah, for letting me read your material. I really, really hope everyone enjoyed it. And I will see you next time on my third installation of Purge Your Story Time. And I am not going to say who I will be featuring next, but she is amazing, and she is a poetess, and I really hope you enjoy her. But for today, I'm going to give you the handle one more time so you can go on his page and check him out at Noah, Noahelowyn. And like I said, if you are not following him and you love storytelling, he's the guy to follow. Have a great day, everybody. Stay safe, stay sane, and stay healthy.